Hello, my name is Gladys Hoyer Berkowitz, and I'm the Director of Student Engagement Programs. Today, I'm here to talk to you about submitting an abstract to present at the Undergraduate Research and Creative Activities Symposium. In this workshop, we will go through the process of submitting your abstract and then thinking about how you're going to put your presentation together. So our symposium is a highlight of all of the research that happens across our campus. So whether you're in the sciences, humanities, social sciences, School of Education, School of Public Policy, School of Business, this is an opportunity to share your work with us. You've been working the whole year or longer on your research, and research is about discovery, but also about sharing your outcomes. So this is the venue where we want to highlight what you've discovered. Our symposium this year is going to be held May 9th through May 13th. To get started in the process, you must submit an abstract. Abstracts are going to be due on April 1st. And it's really important that you collaborate with your faculty member as you put that abstract together so that what you submit is really your final draft. Immediately after you submit your abstract, your faculty mentor will get an email so that they can review that abstract and have the choice of either approving the abstract, not approving it, or holding it for revisions. It is really important that you submit your abstract as early as possible so that you can give your faculty member time to make those decisions, particularly if they're going to hold it for revisions. So again, get your submission in as early as possible and work with your faculty member so that there are no delays upon your submission. After the submission and approval, and when the system closes down on April 1st, we will then forward an email to you with the schedule of available times for you to present. The times will be given out on a first come, first served basis. So if you know that you need to present at a particular time, we highly encourage you to respond immediately, select your time, hold it on your calendar, and then wait for our final confirmation that that's the time that you have. But again, first come, first serve. As soon as you take your time slot, that disappears from the complete schedule that everybody else is looking at. We're also going to work on trying to hold presentations grouped by similar disciplines when possible. So listed here on the screen, you see the website where you will submit your abstracts. Okay, so why present at the symposium? As I mentioned, this is your opportunity to share with our campus community what you've discovered in your research. It's also a great opportunity for you to develop your oral communication skills. This is something that you will work on for the rest of your life. In every career, there's opportunities for you to give talks. So the more that you do it, the easier it becomes. It's also an opportunity to get feedback on your research. You've been working very closely with your faculty mentor or other people within your discipline. At the symposium, you might be an engineering student who has a person in the humanities that comes and asks questions about your work. So it's an opportunity to learn how to disseminate your research to a broad audience. It's also a great opportunity for people to ask you questions that perhaps you thought about, and it's your opportunity to practice giving that response. Or maybe you get a question that you don't know the answer to, and that's okay. This is an opportunity for you to jot down notes and say, you know, I really never have thought about that, or I'm going to check with my faculty mentor to see how that impacts what we're doing. So again, another learning opportunity. Also, presenting, as I said, is a part of the research enterprise. So this is something that should be documented on your resume. This demonstrates that you are engaging within the research community. Okay, so we have 4 types of presentation types that you can apply to present in. The first one is a poster presentation. This year, we're going to be hosting our poster presentations in person. And so in this regard, you're going to put together a 5 to 7 minute oral presentation where you're going to walk us through your research. And the poster is your visual, where you're going to help us see the work that you've done. So the poster really has minimal text. The most important thing is to illustrate your research, either through the use of graphs, images, figures. Your The point of your talk is to expose us to your topic. What is it and why is it important? You're going to walk us through the methodology. How are you gathering and analyzing your data? And you're going to have images where you're going to show us that. You're also going to show us your preliminary results. Or if you're not at that point, what do you expect your results to be? And then giving us your conclusion. This is a great opportunity for students who are in emerging research. You've thought about it, you've conceptualized and have come up with this research protocol that you're going to follow. So being able to talk about it is an important exercise to have. And again, something that you want to work with your faculty mentor on developing. The next options are emerging research. So similar to the poster format, emerging research will be hosted live on Zoom, but you won't have a poster there. You'll have PowerPoints that you're going to be talking through. And for the emerging research, again, it's for students who are just starting off in their research. You have preliminary results, or maybe you're still expecting those results, but you're walking us through what is your research, how are you putting your methodology together, what are you expecting to get out of it. So this will be a 5 to 8 minute presentation. You will be grouped with 2 other presenters, so a total of 3 presenters in each session. Track 3 is also going to be hosted on Zoom, and this is for completed research. So for students who have gotten their research results, this is the opportunity for you. This track will allow you a 15-minute presentation with 3 other presenters. In both tracks, there will be a time for question and answer from the audience. So again, you're going to discuss your topic, your research methodology, and your outcomes. So I encourage you to talk to your faculty mentors to determine which is the best track for your work. And we're also really excited to see the work of students in the arts. So track 4 is for creative activities. And this could be work in dance, theater, music, poetry, anything that's artistic would fall into this category. And this will also be hosted live on Zoom. So the structure of these presentations are as follows. You will have a 10-minute presentation, and you will be presenting with 3 other students, also allowing time for question and answer at the end of each discussion. What we would recommend, and again, talk to your faculty mentor about this, is a 3-minute introduction. What is your topic? How did you create it? What are the influences? What is it? Why is it important? And what are things that we should look at as you show us what your work is? You're going to show us your work with a 5-minute short video. So if you are in music and you're composing a piece for a play or a venue, you can show us that piece. Same for someone who's written a play. If you have a screenplay, maybe you have some actors who perform one of your scenes. In dance, you could show us the choreographed dance that you've put together. So again, it's a great opportunity for you to talk to us about how you put this together, show us, and then have a 2-minute conclusion about what you learned. How is this contributing to your discipline? These are all important questions that arise as you're telling us about this work. And again, this is really important work, and we want to learn from you. So getting started. Again, the first step in presenting at our symposium is the creation of your abstract. So an abstract is a brief description of your research project that engages the audience to want to come listen to your talk. There's going to be a program, and people are going to be looking through that schedule. And again, getting an understanding of what your work is an advertisement for it. So the abstract, the maximum word limit is 250 words. And you're going to compact a lot of information in these 250 words. The abstract, again, as a reminder, has to be approved by your faculty mentor in order for you to participate in the symposium. And it's for this abstract. It must be in a Word document. We are requesting that all of the abstracts be submitted in 12-point Times New Roman, single-spaced, with 1-inch margins, fully justified. And again, the document cannot exceed 3 megabytes. If you have any problems uploading it, it could be because of the size. If you're nowhere near that size limit, then reach out to our office and we can help to figure out why there's an issue and upload it on your behalf. Okay, abstract formatting. This is really important. Even if your faculty approves your abstract, if you're not following the formats that we've given you here, your abstract is going to be returned to you. So please make sure that you follow these guidelines. The first line should be your name and your major. If you were working with someone else on your project, you can add their names and their majors on there. Second line should be your faculty mentor and their department. Third line, the abstract title. Again, think about that abstract title. You want to make it interesting, something that is catchy, because again, just like the abstract itself, people are going to be looking through the schedule. The titles are going to capture their attention. So you want to make sure that you have something that is intriguing and they're going to want to come to your talk. Following that, leave a blank line. And then your fourth line is where your abstract begins. Make sure that your abstract is aligned to the left, fully justified. Include a space between each paragraph. After each period, make sure that you have 2 spaces. Check with your advisor on the disciplinary protocol for using first person pronouns. Here's an example. In some disciplines, you can say I interviewed 7 senior citizens. Other disciplines would be more, feel that it's more appropriate to say 7 senior citizens were interviewed. So again, talk to your faculty mentor about the appropriate first person pronoun usage. Okay, now we're going to get into crafting the abstract. I've already mentioned the importance of a title. You want to have it short and interesting. So think of a way that you are going to make your talk interesting and incorporate that into that title. Your abstract, the purpose of it is to explain the purpose, objective of your research, the methods of your research, as well as preliminary results and conclusions that you expect to find. The questions that are important that your abstract answer are as follows. What is your research question? Explain to us, what is your topic? Why is it important? How does it impact society? Then go into briefly explaining to us, what are your research methods, participants, controls, or data analysis? Again, convince us that your topic is important and that we should care. That's the purpose of an abstract. And again, ending it with, what are your preliminary results or expected results? Okay, so you've got the abstract, your faculty mentor has approved it, you've determined which is the most appropriate presentation type that you're going to follow. So now I'm just going to briefly go over how you're going to craft that presentation. And we'll have other workshops later on that are going to go more in depth. But this is just to give you an overview of how to put your abstract and presentations together. Okay. So your introduction. Your presentation should really follow that same format of a research paper. You want to give us an introduction, and this is appropriate for completing, emerging, and poster presentations. Your introduction should present your research topic and rationale. Give us background. What is already known about your topic? What are the gaps that you're trying to fill? And conceptualizing to us, why is your research important? And everyone's research is important, but this is your step on making it clear to the audience. The research question or problem. What is the focus of your study? And what is your hypothesis? Then it should be followed by your methodology. Briefly explain the process that you're going to undergo in collecting and analyzing the data. Okay, Then you're going to get to the body of your presentation, and this is appropriate for immersion and poster presentations. Explain how you are collecting the data and why you've chosen the specific procedure to answer your question. This is where it's really important to have those figures, charts, graphs, bullet points. This is that summary where you're showing your research methodology and outcomes. Here is where you are going to highlight for us what you've discovered or what you anticipate discovering and why you think that. The questions that you should have in the back of your mind that your presentation should be answering at this point are, how are you going to analyze this data? What are your controls? What do you expect to find? Why do you expect this? What are the implications of your findings? And where are you going to go from here? So if you're just starting off, you might say, these are the things that I'm expecting. I'm going to start my research next week, or I've already started it and we're waiting for the results. Again, the symposium is an opportunity for you to share your research, but I also expect that people are going to ask you questions. So another exercise that you should undertake is to start thinking about, what will people ask me and how will I respond? And this is something that you could work with your faculty mentor on, or people in your research team, to think through those questions. And you don't have to know the answer to every single question. It is okay to say, I haven't thought about that question. Let me jot that down. I'll talk to my faculty mentor, or I just don't know, and I will look into it. That's fine. That's what the symposium is about, is getting interaction with your work, learning from other people. Somebody may pose an idea that you haven't considered that maybe helps move your research forward. So be prepared for that. Okay, so for completed research, the body of your presentation should encompass focusing on your findings. Again, use graphs, charts, bullet points, any images that really show us what your research is. That is really helpful for the audience members to follow in your talk. Questions that you should consider is, did you find what you expected? What were some challenges in your research? How much did your research change from your initial conception to the end result? How do your research results relate to theory or previous literature that you had discovered? What are the implications of your findings? And again, where are you going after this? So for the creative arts, as I mentioned, we highly encourage you to create a short video that highlights your work and really shows us what it is that you produced. This could be a recording of a dance, it could be a recording of an acting scene, it could be a recording of a musical composition. You can also give a live performance. We're going to be on Zoom, but you could have yourself give a poetry reading. Maybe act out a scene if it only requires you or maybe one other person. So again, everything is open. This is something that you want to discuss with your faculty mentor about what the most appropriate way to present your work will be. Okay, so the conclusion. Conclude your presentations by discussing the implications and directions for future research. This is also the place for you to acknowledge the team that helped you with your research, whether it's your faculty mentor, a research team, funders. So if your research was funded by any organized research programs on campus, Mark U Star, Camp, etc., you want to recognize them. If you're a recipient of a mini grant or Chancellor's Research Fellowship, you want to acknowledge this. If you are a participant of the Mellon Mays program, honors, there's a variety of other entities that could have helped you with your research. The librarians, this is a great opportunity for you to give credit to individuals who contributed to your outcomes. Remember to use the appropriate citation format for all of the references that you may have in your presentation. Be consistent in your formatting. And again, anticipate questions, and be confident enough to say, I don't know, when you haven't thought about something that's been asked of you. That's perfectly fine. You'll research it later and think about that question. Tips. Your presentation is an advertisement of your research. You've worked on this for the past year, if not longer. So be proud of what you've done and be proud to share it with our community. We want to learn from you. Start strong. Provide a hook that draws us in and wants to keep us engaged with your work. End it strong. Make sure that you have a strong takeaway. What did you learn and why is your research important and how are you going to make a difference with that research? The symposium is an open event, so we highly encourage you to invite your friends and family to join and see your presentation and also learn from you. Again, the symposium is a great opportunity to share your research results. The university is very proud of all the work that happens across all disciplines. So irregardless of what your discipline is, if you have research that you've been working on, we welcome it and we want to see you at the symposium. Our website is listed here. If you have questions, you can contact ugr@ucr.edu. The symposium abstract submission, again, opens up on March 1st, and the deadline to submit all of the abstracts will be April 1st. If you have any questions, reach out to us. And this presentation will have a couple of abstracts that you can look at as examples. And so I will give you 2 minutes to look at these. And again, congratulations, and we look forward to seeing your presentations. Here's an example of a science abstract. Here is an example from an abstract in the Chaz College. Here's another Chaz example.